Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I also wanted to talk about Andrew Wayne's proposal that the minimum wage should be at least $17 an hour, right? Now, this is just he say, she say, this should happen, that should happen. The truth of the matter is, it will happen. The truth of the matter is there's plenty of states that are already raising their minimum wage requirements year over year over year. For example, in Ohio, I think by 2025 the minimum wage must be $15 an hour, right? So we're not quite there at the $17 an hour mark. However, um, there are strides being taken in order to increase the minimum wage, right? And so if you don't have assets like stocks, if you don't have assets like real estate, that as all this stuff is going up, you're making more money and you have the same fixed prices, you're not going to be able to get ahead. You got to start early, you got to start investing, you got to start taking the time to truly understand these things. Now, everybody got the minimum wage bumped to $17 an hour. How does that affect you financially? It affects you negatively financially. You know why? Because the price of goods and services now have to go up because the customer service workers who were getting $15 an hour before, when your bananas cost $2, now your bananas cost $2.50 because they're making $17 an hour. That 50 cents is going to hurt you more because now every single grocery that you have to buy is attached to an increase in inflation due to the cost of wages, right? And so you'll find out very quickly that the minimum wage affects those negatively when it is universal. Because every business now knows this person has gotten a raise, therefore I should charge more because now they can afford it. If I charge more, they will pay more before thinking about other needs. For example, food, housing, and utilities. That is going to be your basic needs. Then you have your transportation. From that, everything else is secondary. If you can essentially get all of those needs met with your income and still have a little bit left over, you will opt in to do that little and get that little because you need your needs first. And if it is universal, because obviously the price of everything will go up with time, you will not be able to complain. You will not be able to run away from the fact that everything has gone up. Your income has increased, everything else must increase with it. So, what Andrew Yang is essentially doing is he's trying to play on the minds of those who don't truly understand economics, who don't truly understand how things work in our society today. Now, yes, will it help certain people who are making less than $11 and $12 and $13 an hour? Yes, it will help them. You know how it will help them? It will allow them to live. No, it will allow them to survive. Before they were dying. They weren't really surviving at all. But now with minimum wage being what it will be, it would allow them to survive. Surviving is one way of life. But if you truly want to live, you have to expand. You have to flourish. You have to change the mindset. You see, the only way to truly um, benefit from an increase in a wage universally is if more people actually started saving and less people were spending. That's the only way to benefit, but that will never happen because we're a consumer nation. For example, if everybody got a raise, but they said, I'm not going to pay for um, an increase in housing costs. I'm going to move in with other people until they drop the rents. That would eventually change the price of housing. If everyone said, I'm not going to pay for an increase in groceries, I'm going to eat rice and beans until everything else drops. that would eventually drop the price of chicken, fish, and everything else. The market would understand, oh, wait, I cannot charge $10 for chicken. I need to charge 7 or 5 or 4, whatever it is, until people start to buy it again, right? Um, but if we're not of the consensus of, wait, I need to put money in my pocket and not in theirs, this will always be the case. Now, you cannot get everybody universally to say, I'd rather not have this pleasure and indulgence like chocolate, chicken, whatever it is that they like. You cannot get everyone to be on the same page. Therefore, when prices go up on goods and services, it is going to be dictated by what the consumer is actually able to afford for what we actually spend or charge. So, in order to answer your question in layman's terms, if I charge $5 for lemonade and someone makes $7 a week and they really like lemonade, they now have a decision to make. Are they going to pay $5 for the lemonade, which will keep my price the same, or will they not pay the $5 and have me drop it to $4 after a month, and now I'm getting a whole bunch of customers at $4 a month? But if they buy the lemonade at 5, I'm going to say lemonade is now worth 5. Eventually, I'll be able to ride it out, and now everybody is paying $5 a month for lemonade because they no longer wanted to wait. They now know the market is set. They now know that that is the price, and until there is less of a demand, I will continue to sell lemonade for this higher price. That's essentially how the economy works. You are never going to get a group of people to say, we are not going to pay X, Y, and Z for this amount of product. For example, I stopped buying certain food products, or maybe I only buy it like once every so often because the price to me is just ridiculous. I'm like, why is this X, Y, and Z, or why is that so expensive? The profit margins must be ridiculous. I mean, just think about snow crab legs. You get like 4 of them for what, like $30? And I'm like, 4 snow crabs for $30? That has to be the most ridiculous thing in the world, right? So when you look at it from that perspective, I can say, as a business person, I said this person is making a killing. But as for me, I'm not going to invest in something that is or pay for something that is going to be at my detriment by that much. I just don't see how profiting that much off of something for me to get a good or service is beneficial to me. It's not. 4 snow crabs, that's 2 days worth of food, maybe. So I'm not going to pay for that. But I understand that the price won't go down because people are willing to pay for that, whether they're paying for it out of their own pocket or using money from other sources. Whatever the case may be, it's getting paid for and is not getting paid for by me. So again, the minimum wage being raised, yes, it will help those who are literally, I'm talking about literally, making like $7, $8, $9 an hour. But if you're already making maybe $13 an hour, $14 an hour, and the minimum wage is raised, it's not going to help you whatsoever. You're just going to have an adjusted cost of living, and it will catch up. And so we have to think outside of the minimum wage itself. We have to think about, how can I get promoted to manager so that I can make an extra $1.50 or extra two to $3? How can I now start to improve so that I live above what everyone else is making? How can I improve so that I'm not on a minimum wage? How can I improve so that my skill set isn't a minimum requirement? Does that make sense? How can I improve so that I am qualified? And then when I'm overqualified, get a position that I am now qualified for. this is the question that you should ask yourself. Not how do I live off of minimum wage? That is not the question to be asking yourself. So if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.